It's the Screamer. Stay tuned. Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a brand new episode of Horror Favourite of the Decade. I am Random Ross, and it is the show where I take a horror from a decade and be one of my favourites. So, we're in the 1990s this time. So, what is my favourite of this decade? Well, we're going back to 1996, and if you can guess from the thumbnail, yes, it is Scream! Yes, written by Kevin Williamson, directed by the legendary Wes Craven, starring Neve Campbell, Rose McGowan, Jamie Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, David Arquette, and of course, Courtney Cox, with Drew Barrymore. So this is a slasher from the 90s where, set in the fictional town of Woodsboro, a mass murderer is going around called Ghostface, who is testing people's knowledge on slasher films and killing them in the slasher styled way. And of course we have our film guru, Randy, played by Jamie Kennedy, who of course is knowledgeable in the slasher films and is aware of what could come next. But also the victims receive phone calls from the killer Ghostface before he attacks them. And of course Sidney Prescott, Sidney Newman, I'm getting the names mixed up. Sidney Prescott, falls victim to the Ghostface killer, but manages to survive by using some smart tactic moves and stuff. And at one point, going by some of the cliches, but surviving. And of course, there is that big revelation where the Ghostface killer is revealed to be two people: Sidney's boyfriend Billy Loomis, played by Skeet Ulrich, and Billy's best friend Stu, played by Matthew Lillard. And yeah, they both. This is set around the 1-year anniversary of Sidney's mother's death. And also, Billy's motivation is that it led to his parents splitting up or something. Can't quite remember now, but there's another revelation in Scream 3 that's revealed. But anyway, yes, in the end, there's a big bloody finale, and of course, Jamie Kennedy's character Randy is aware of the rules. So, that's enough with the story. I'm sure I'm not giving any spoilers away because this film is over 26 years old. So, you've had 26 years to watch this movie. So what did I like about this? Well, I like that it poked fun at the slasher genre. Yeah, it poked fun at the slasher genre, and it also, at the same time respected it and acknowledged it, which I thought was also great. I also thought, after the whole 80s, running the slasher genre into the ground with the Friday franchise and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, what have you, people thought there's no other way to go now. They've done the slasher genre to death. But then Wes Craven came along directing this movie. Of course, he almost didn't direct, but ended up doing so, which I'm glad he did. Doing this film, and it sort of revitalized the slasher genre as well. And it, of course, like I say, it acknowledged other slasher films, from Friday the 13th to Halloween to A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, Wes Craven cameos as the janitor Freddy in this, wearing a striped jumper and a hat. This just, it was a great one. Of course, I will always fondly remember this as my first real horror. Yes, before that it was all Scooby-Doo and I'm Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps, but Scream was my first real taste of real horror that was 18 rated, or if you're in America, R rated, or X rated, whatever. I'm not fully sure of the certificate ratings in America, but yes, first adult slasher. and horror. It scared my sister that much that she didn't sleep the night we watched it, but I was okay. I didn't even find it scary. I found it quite fun and laughable. I mean, yeah, there were some jump scares, but if you think about it now, looking at it now, Ghostface is probably one of the most clumsiest mass murderers ever. By falling over his robe, running into stuff. Yeah. Of course, we had a tight cast as well. Of course, we had Neve Campbell and Skeet Ulrich, which were both from the film or was it the same time? The Craft. We also got Rose McGowan, who, of course, I think was in Charmed, I believe. We also had David Arquette and Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox, of course, her career also taking off around that time with Friends. I mean, back then she was probably known as Monica from Friends. But this is also another role which I think she's, cemented herself into, as Gale Weathers. Also, David Arquette as well, who would go on to be her real-life husband and then divorced but still remain friends. And I love the character of Randy. And at one point he said, "I've never been so happy to be a virgin." He was the comic relief of this film. He was the comic relief and, was our survival guide. And we all know he made it to the sequel but didn't quite make it to the prequel. Yeah, but still, his legacy continued in the later films. But of course, there was one moment where Rose McGowan's character, Dewey's sister, I can't remember her name now, but she actually comes in, face to face with Ghostface. I think there's so many things she could have done. I mean, at first she put up a good fight, but then she could have called the guys for help because they weren't watching the film. They were listening to, Randy. And why the hell did she climb out from the cat flap? She just got a thing killed. It's insane. It's just bonkers. But all in all, it is a great slasher movie. I don't think I got anything to dislike about this one. We even got the Fonzie in there as the school principal, with the A. Well, it didn't. We weren't playing Fonzie in this. But yeah, we had so many horror references and Easter eggs, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I can watch this one and not get bored with it. We have 5 films in this series now. The most recent one, I didn't even know the franchise could work without Craven, but it did with the 5th movie, Scream, but still, it was 4 Wes. But I very much enjoyed that one. But we're talking about the first movie, so what am I going to rate this one? You know what? I'm giving it 5 out of 5. 5 stabs out of 5 for Scream. So there you go. There is my review on Scream, and it is my favourite of the decade of the 1990s. So before we wrap things up, let's go to our monthly shout out. This month's shout out goes to Brittany Rose Wright. She is this YouTuber that doesn't just do horror movie reviews, she does reviews from many other genres as well, but does love her horror, and she's a sweet young woman who doesn't get enough subs. I mean, she's got under 300, so go check her out. Her channel will be linked down below. Be sure to tell her that I sent you her way. Like I say, go check her out. She is awesome. So there you go. That's it for this episode. So yeah, have you seen Scream? Let me know all that down in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends, and to feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've been Random Ross, and this has been Horror Favourite of the Decade, the 1990s. So, until next time, don't have nightmares.